Hey everybody, it's the OMAD Dad. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, a channel that is dedicated to living the OMAD lifestyle or eating just one meal a day. Well, today I wanted to make a video about a subject that you may have heard me mention in some of my previous videos that came as a result of my July No Splurge challenge. This was a challenge that I made for myself and invited some of you guys to join in. And one of the things that happened during this month was that I was able to quit and get off of Diet Coke. I've had this sort of overusage of diet soda in the past. And when I became an intermittent faster and started employing time-restricted eating, I would regularly have a soda. And you've heard me mention on this channel before that, having a diet soda with 0 calories is an occasional okay treat, and it's not going to break your fast, etc., etc. And I stand by that, but I want to give you a little bit of a background as to why I decided to quit. I've never been a coffee drinker. I never liked coffee. I do like tea, but usually I only have hot tea during the winter when I'm outside in the cold here and trying to warm up after snow shoveling and snow blowing the yard. So it's very rare that I have it, and I haven't had iced tea for a long time, since I was a little kid and spending the summers at my grandparents' house. So it was natural for me to go to diet soda, and diet soda, at least initially, helped curb some of the hunger pangs that you would get when you're on your fasts. It seemed for a little while to at least kind of help me out in that sense, and it helped me to go the full amount of time that I needed to in between meals. And of course, it didn't hurt that I got a little bit of the caffeine boost from it too. I have 2 little ones at home, and I could tell you, I was kind of not prepared for the lack of sleep, especially when my first child, my daughter, was born. And I look back now and I had laugh on it because I could do those short nights in my sleep, so to speak. But having that caffeine, that soda there, just became kind of a crutch, and then after a while it became a habit. But one thing I noticed when I was doing my July No Splurge challenge is that it really was getting to a point where it was working against me. I've said multiple times on this channel, and I stick by this, that your number one drink of choice has to be water. You have to have a lot of water. Whether you're doing my program, time-restricted eating, or not, water should be number one in your life. And so I found that my water was decreasing and my diet soda consumption was increasing. During the past month, I noticed that I was starting to get a little bit of some stomach issues and digestive problems. I noticed that I was always kind of bloated after having it, and toward the end of the day, I was just very, very gassy. I know, probably TMI, but this is what we're here for. And I noticed too that it really wasn't helping curb my appetite anymore. I got to a point where I would have a diet soda and I'd feel great, I'd feel full, but it would only last for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then after that I'd have hunger again. And when I would get these bursts of little blips of hunger pangs, which is natural cycles that you go through, as I've explained on this channel before, I found that I would get crazy hungry during one of these little loops, or when it was natural cycle of hunger. And the combination of all of that, and the fact that diet soda in and of itself is really not all that good for you at all, there's really no redeeming qualities in it, made me decide to finally give it up once and for all. I had a slightly different approach this time as to how I quit. Before, in the past, I've tried going cold turkey, and I had woken up in the middle of the night feeling like my head was hit with a baseball bat. I was in so much pain. I couldn't even sit still. And normally 3 Advil is enough to alleviate any amount of pain in my body. And I took a couple of Advil, and the throbbing went away, but that dull headache was there for days. And then So that didn't work for me, and I knew going into this time that I wanted to give it up for good, and I needed a little bit of help. Now, this is a little bit different and maybe a little, sort of controversial to people. But what I did is I went on Amazon because I still wanted to get some of the effects of the caffeine, because caffeine does have some positive effects to the human body. So what I did was I went on to Amazon, and you can get a 2-pack of these. I found these from another channel, ProLab. They make little caffeine pills right here. And you have one pill, and it's the equivalent of 2 cups of coffee. And so I'd have one of those in the morning, and then one, say, at around noontime, so that I could give myself plenty of time so that at the end of the day, the caffeine had worn off, and I can get a nice deep sleep at night. And then eventually, after that, I got used to that, and so I switched down to 1 pill at first thing in the morning. And now I am completely off the caffeine. I'm not taking the caffeine pills. I'm not having any diet soda. It's been several weeks, and I do occasionally go to Dunkin' Donuts to get an unsweetened iced tea, and I put a little bit of lemon in there. But that's my once in a while treat now. I have that like first thing in the morning, and if I do have it, and then it's strict water throughout the rest of the day. And I got to tell you, I really do feel great. I think it was a great way of gradually getting myself off of diet soda. Again, going cold turkey, for me at least, was very, very harsh. You had to deal with the soda withdrawals and also the caffeine withdrawals. So I feel like this was a little bit better of a plan. I'm not all that a fan of just taking pills. I'm really, but when I took the caffeine boost that I got from this, I wasn't wiry and jittery and bouncing off the walls. It was just enough to kind of, wake me up and get me going in the morning. But now I'm allowing my body to naturally go through this process by itself and to rely on my own energy. And this also forces you to make sure you're getting yourself to bed at a decent time at night, because if you don't get sleep, you have nothing to no drug to boost you up in the morning. So I make sure I get my 7 or 8 hours of sleep every night, and I wake up and I feel good, and I've saved money, and I'm finally off diet soda. There's a lot of controversy in and a lot of arguing back and forth in the fasting community as to whether diet sodas break your fast. Technically, they don't. They are if they're 0 calories, they don't technically break your fast. It may cause an insulin response in some people, but instead of arguing back and forth, the best way to find out is to test your blood glucose levels first thing in the morning in a fasted state, and then have a diet soda, and then check it again about half an hour to 45 minutes later after you've finished having the soda, and then see if it gives you specifically any sort of insulin response. For some people it will, for some people it won't. However, there are other issues with it, and not just the aspartame or the artificial sweetener that's being used as to whether it creates an insulin response. There's other chemicals and there's other ingredients in the soda. It has been known to disrupt healthy gut bacteria. So again, I'm not going to tell you no. It would technically be considered dirty fasting if during your fasting window, when you're not eating, you have a diet soda once in a while. You're adults. The research is out there. You have to make up your own decisions. I can't do that for you. Some people will watch this and continue to have diet soda. All the power to you. Some people will watch this and say, hey, you know what? Maybe I should kick the habit myself and just stick to water, maybe an occasional cup of coffee here and there. Again, I've really tried. I commend you guys out there for being able to stick to coffee in the morning. It's just not for me. I just cannot get through it. So I don't have coffee. But I got to tell you, I feel a lot better. And I think my approach for doing this, doing it this way, is a little bit more unique compared to some other people I've seen here on YouTube. And I wanted to make this video because I know there are some people out there who've been contacting me, who've left comments, who've had some issues with diet soda, Diet Coke in particular. And there may even be people who normally aren't interested in fasting or time-restricted eating that see this and use it as a way to kind of have a different approach to getting off the Diet Coke habit. But I thought that was a very positive thing. Again, I was surprised at how less bloated I am and how much better my stomach is feeling already. And just having all of the water that I'm having is really great for cleaning out your system. And you need to have really, really good high quality water every single day. That's the #1 drink of choice. So overall, I think this was a positive thing, and I hope you guys out there who are desiring to get rid of Diet Coke can get something from this video and use it. My approach is a way to make yourselves finally kick the habit for good. So that's going to be it for me today, folks. Again, I thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. Feel free to leave your comments and questions below, or don't forget, you can email me as well. I have my email address in the description box. So that is all. Until the next video, have a great day, have a very happy OMAD, and be well.